Hello everybody, it's been a while since I posted. I'm going to be doing a garden tour. It is Friday morning, taking a quick break from work. Actually, it's my lunchtime to film this. We have been working outside last weekend and it rained. Sorry about the wind. Then it rained a couple of times this week, and also I had a really bad sinus infection where I've been on antibiotics. So if my eye starts watering while I'm filming, and it's because sinus infection. We are in kind of central North Texas, a zone 8, and living in Dallas for so many years and then coming down here, this is the first spring down here, so of course the allergies, the pollen might be a little bit different and my body's not used to it, so yeah, that's been fun. So I wanted to show you some exciting things happening in the garden. I'm super excited about it. I've actually been picking vegetables. So let's go into the garden and I'll show you. So the first thing, if you notice, we've got to finish this off, but I did film a video on what I've done, but we're starting to get the edging for the garden done, and we're about to start framing all this in to what we want. Strawberries have not produced a lot at all this year. And I think what I'm going to do is not buy from the place I bought it from. I bought it from 2 different places. This was Gurney's and it just didn't do well. And the other place I bought it from was Ace Hardware, and that one they didn't even produce 1 or 2 of them. They just died immediately. My mint's doing great. I swear. This lemon basil, it's been trying to go to seed, and I come out here every day and try to pick these off. I haven't done it in a couple of days because, you know, I've been on the antibiotics. But it actually came up with, as you can see, 2 stalks. There was actually 3, and I pulled up one of the stalks. So this is just from 2, but my Genevieve basil is doing good. And the rosemary is really taking off. It's really starting to grow. My chives, they're kind of suffering a little bit. I need to come in here and clean them out a little bit, but I think it's because this bush is so huge. I'm just like amazed, and it came from a seed. My gladiolas, I'm about to start pulling up the bulbs. I'm just letting the leaves die back, then I'll pull up the bulbs for next year. They've all bloomed. These guys, I'm actually going to transplant into the shade because they are dying. These are just flowers that I bought at the Master Gardener sale. They bloomed a couple of times, and then this started happening. I was like, okay, we need to go into the shade. Bee balm, looking great. And then we're going to talk about all this other gross stuff pretty soon, but I pulled up all the beans. We are actually going to go get a kettle panel this weekend to put up an arch here so I can plant my pole beans here. But I planted last week carrots, and they haven't sprouted yet. And then over here, I planted bush beans over here. Oh, look. I don't know if you see that dragonfly right there. I planted bush beans here, and they haven't sprouted either. Well, actually, they're starting to, which is awesome. And pole beans are going to go here. And I have a video on that. I just haven't edited it yet. I would planned on putting it up this week, and it just didn't happen. Look at this. It finally bloomed my sunflower. I'm so happy about it. There's a whole bunch of bees swarming around, as you can see, which we're going to let the bees do their things. Seems like I'm all over the place on this video, but you know, there's a lot of growth, and I actually want to go over the new growth. I mean, look at this. So jalapenos bushes, I mean, they're producing jalapenos, and they're looking good. They're getting new leaves. Just hoping they grow a little bit bigger. Now in this area, I planted beets in this area, and they are starting to germinate, as you can see. I kind of wonder if a cat came in, because I planted radishes all along here. So I'm just giving it a couple of days just to see if the radishes pop up or not. But I don't know if a cat came in or not. because we got some really hard rain in it, and it might have been the rain that did this. And in the back, I planted more sunflower seeds, like along this area. In here, I planted mustard, and there goes the mustard right there. It's starting to germinate. All right, let's talk. I bought this. I bought 4 plants, zucchini plants from Ace Hardware, because I didn't have any zucchini seeds. And I've been coming out every day, and I'm like, okay, there's a big flower. You know, I'm like, please. And as you can see, that flower's on the ground. You know, and I'm like, I'm just probably not going to produce any zucchinis at all this year. That's what I came to the conclusion of, is it's going to bloom and nothing else. But this morning, let me find it. Oh, here it is. There's a zucchini. I think there's another one in here, but we got zucchini. I'm super excited because last year I tried squash. Matter of fact, my squash plants over here haven't bloomed anything yet that I can see, but as you can see, it's a lot in here. So we're going to talk about what's going on here. This, and that, and I'm trying to keep it out of the neighbor's yard, is a watermelon vine. And they are, I'll put the name of the watermelon on the screen, but they're miniature watermelons. I'm waiting to see this little thing dry up along with this leaf, because they're not ready yet, but they're pretty nice size and big. I've got a few of those. Here's another one. I haven't really checked the ground to see if they're growing on the ground. Here's one, and it's not ready. It's still white. And then I have this one, and they're getting big by the day. Like the first day, you know, they're real small like that, and like in 2 days they are this size. I mean, it's amazing. See, here's another one. Then my cucumbers, I've been picking cucumbers continuously, but here's one growing. I've got another one over here growing. There are like bees always on this trellis. What is it, guys? You two need to stop. Good morning, girl. I haven't seen you at all this morning. And then the other thing, as I said, there's squash in here, but I don't see any squash actually forming, which is okay, because there's also jackalopes, or jack-o'-lanterns. They're small pumpkins, and I've got a few of them actually budding. I'm so excited about that. So every time I come out here, I find something new. Super excited. And my marigolds are making it through. All right, so let's talk about this bed, because this bed, it was like nothing, and then 2 days later it was a whole bunch. My beans, well, they're not doing too well because they're being taken over by the massive amount of tomato plants. And you know how I kept saying, oh, it's chamomile? It's not. It's cosmos. They're finally blooming. I'm just letting them bloom. Just kind of let birds come along and everything real quick. Sweet potato that I bought at a store. It's taken off. It's awesome. So when we go shopping this weekend, I'm actually going to buy a couple of more tomato plant holders, because this is just taking off. My Chadwick tomatoes have just gone crazy. This is another, so it's going to take 2 of us to get it all taken care of, but we're going to get it all staked and looking nice. But as you can see, I have been, the Chadwick tomatoes have been turning red first, and I have been using those quite a lot in salads and everything, coming out and picking them. Pick at least 2 a day. The black cherry tomato, I've got one here. I think I've got another one, yeah, over here, but it's starting to put out blooms. And then my Abe Lincoln starting to put out some blooms. And then the pear which is right there, starting to put out blooms. And I just gotta get more stock and more stuff to stake it in. I didn't think it'd be this crazy. It is. It's this crazy, guys. So I've got a lot of tomatoes that are about to start ripening, and I'm excited about it. I have planted more tomato plants for the second summer, fall area, right here. And then I also planted some, and they're sitting someplace else, planted onions and broccoli for the fall. So I've got those seeded and germinating and everything. Look at these zinnias. I am in love with zinnias. Matter of fact, we decided we were going to do nothing but zinnias next year. And I was like, well, not all zinnias. We'll do other things. Out of my zinnia plants that I planted for my parents, only one, well, two. One looks like it's about to die. I don't know why, because it's been watered. But one looks pretty well. Pretty good. All right. So that is my garden tour. I mean, look at it. I love looking at it going, wow. It's just called patience, Donna. It's called patience. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you very soon. Got several things happening around the house I want to show y'all.